Catherine Wells stood at the viewport, watching as the human ship approached the massive space station. Proxima Station hung in space like a giant metal flower, its many docking arms spread out in all directions. This was the headquarters of the Galactic Council, where over 50 alien species met to decide the fate of worlds. And now, Earth was on their agenda. "Ambassador, we're beginning final approach," said the pilot. "Council escorts are moving into position." Catherine nodded, straightening her formal blue uniform. The gold pin of Earth United Nations shone on her collar. As humanity's first official diplomat to the stars, she felt the weight of 7 billion lives on her shoulders. Commander Alan Foster stepped up beside her. His military uniform was crisp and his face serious. "I don't like this, Ambassador. Those aren't honor guards. They're battle cruisers." "I noticed," Catherine said quietly. "They're sending a message." 3 months ago, alien ships appeared near Jupiter. The Araxian fleet, they called themselves. First contact had been tense but peaceful. The aliens invited Earth to send representatives to the Galactic Council. They promised friendship and technology. But something felt wrong. The aliens seemed too interested in Earth's resources. They asked too many questions about human defenses. "Landing in 5 minutes," announced the pilot. Catherine turned to her small team. Dr. Olivia Martinez, their language expert, was checking the translation devices one last time. William Carter, who studied alien biology, was reviewing notes on the different species they would meet. "Remember," Catherine said to them, "we know almost nothing about these aliens or their politics. Trust no one until they earn it. Our job is to protect Earth's interests, not make friends." The ship docked with a gentle bump. Catherine took a deep breath and led her team toward the airlock. The reception area was huge, with a ceiling that seemed to reach into forever. Strange plants with purple and blue leaves lined the walls. The air smelled like cinnamon and metal. 5 aliens waited for them. The tallest, with blue-gray skin and 4 arms, stepped forward. "Ambassador Wells of Earth," it said through a translator device. "I am Zextal, High Chancellor of the Araxian Dominion and senior member of the Council. You will follow me." No welcome. No pleasantries. Catherine exchanged glances with Commander Foster. This was not a good start. They were led through corridors, filled with aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some looked almost human. Others were so strange that Catherine couldn't tell their front from their back. Many turned to stare at the humans as they passed. "They're looking at us like we're animals in a zoo," whispered Dr. Martinez. Finally, they reached the council chamber. It was a massive room shaped like a bowl, with floating platforms arranged in circles. On each platform stood representatives from different worlds. The humans were given a small platform near the bottom. "The council recognizes the representatives of Sol 3, known to its natives as Earth," announced Zextal from the highest platform. "We will now list the violations of concordant law committed by your species." "Violations?" Catherine said, surprised. "We weren't aware of any concordant laws. We've just made contact with your civilization." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Catherine tried to continue, but her translator device suddenly buzzed and went silent. "A malfunction," said Zextal. "How unfortunate. The formal hearing will be scheduled for the next cycle. Until then, the Earth delegation will remain in their assigned quarters." As they were led away, Commander Foster leaned close to Catherine. "This was planned. They never intended to let you speak." Catherine nodded slowly. "Something's very wrong here. These aren't peace talks. They're a trial, and they've already decided we're guilty." In their quarters later, Catherine looked out at the stars, thinking of distant Earth. She had come seeking friendship between worlds. Instead, she found politics, prejudice, and possible danger. Tomorrow would be difficult. But Catherine Wells didn't become Earth's first ambassador by backing down from a challenge. Catherine paced the floor of their quarters. The rooms were nice enough, with strange curved furniture and walls that glowed softly. But she knew they were prisoners, not guests. "Found another one," said Commander Foster, holding up a tiny metal device shaped like a beetle. That makes 7 spy bugs so far. Dr. Martinez took the device and placed it in a soundproof box with the others. They're not even trying to hide. Them. It's like they want us to know we're being watched. William Carter was at the computer terminal the aliens had provided. His fingers moved quickly over the strange controls. Our messages to Earth are being intercepted. Nothing we send is getting through unchanged. Catherine sat down at the small table. So we're cut off, spied on, and tomorrow we face some kind of trial for breaking laws we never knew existed. She smiled suddenly. They're scared of us. Us? William looked up. We're just 4 humans with no weapons on a station with thousands of aliens. If they weren't worried about Earth, they wouldn't go to all this trouble, Catherine explained. Let's use the time we have. Olivia, what have you found out about their language? Dr. Martinez activated her tablet, showing strange symbols. The translation devices they gave us are programmed to make our words sound aggressive or foolish. Look, when you said peaceful cooperation yesterday, it translated as temporary surrender. Can you fix it? Catherine asked. Already done, Olivia said with pride. I've reprogrammed our devices. They'll hear exactly what we want them to hear now. Commander Foster looked impressed. Good work. Carter, anything on their defense systems? William nodded. The station has heavy shields but fewer weapons than I expected. They rely on their fleet for protection. A soft beep came from Catherine's pocket. She pulled out her personal device and frowned at the message that appeared. The Concordat means to claim Earth as a protectorate world. The terms are already drafted. Who sent this? Commander Foster demanded, reading over her shoulder. Unknown, Catherine said. But if it's true... Protectorate? William asked. What does that mean? It means they take control of Earth while pretending to protect us, Catherine explained. We'd lose our independence. Dr. Martinez looked worried. Can they do that? Catherine's face hardened. Not if I have anything to say about it. We need more information. This message came through my personal device, not the station system. Maybe whoever sent it can help us. She typed a quick reply. Who are you? How can we meet? The answer came moments later. Observation deck, 3rd level, 1 Earth hour, come alone. It's obviously a trap, Commander Foster said immediately. Maybe, Catherine agreed. But it's also our only lead. I'm going, but not alone. You'll follow. At a distance, Alan. An hour later, Catherine stood on the observation deck, pretending to admire the view of distant stars. The deck was mostly empty, with just a few aliens wandering about. Don't turn around, said a soft voice behind her. I am Nerivel of the Solari Collective. My people were once in your position. Catherine kept her eyes on the stars. What happened? We became a protectorate. Now we mine our world for the Council while they take what they want. Our people grow poorer while the Council grows richer. Why help us? Catherine asked. Because it's time someone stood up to them. The archives on level 6 contain the truth. Use this to access them. Something small was pressed into Catherine's hand. Be careful, human. Not all council members know what their leaders plan for Earth. By the time Catherine turned around, the alien was gone. She opened her hand to find a small crystal key card. Back in their quarters, she showed it to her team. This is our chance to learn the truth before tomorrow's hearing. Commander Foster examined the key. It could still be a trap. Or it could save Earth, Catherine replied. Either way, we're going to those archives tonight. The human team moved quietly through the dimly lit corridors of level 6. The night cycle had begun on Proxima Station, and most aliens had returned to their quarters. Only a few security guards patrolled the halls. This way, Catherine whispered, following the map Nerivel had provided. Commander Foster walked beside her, hand near his hidden pistol. Dr. Martinez and William followed closely behind. They reached a large door marked with alien symbols. Catherine pressed the crystal key against the scanner. The door slid open with a soft hiss. We have 30 minutes before the security system resets, she said as they entered. The archive room was huge, filled with glowing data terminals. The walls were lined with strange crystal containers that hummed with energy. Those must be their data storage units, William said, examining one. Amazing technology. Dr. Martinez connected her tablet to one of the terminals. The key is giving us access. Starting download now. Commander Foster kept watch by the door. Hurry, I don't like being in the open like this. Look for anything about Earth, protectorates, or strategic resources, Catherine instructed. Minutes passed as they searched through the alien records. Suddenly, Dr. Martinez gasped. Catherine, I found something. Earth sits on what they call a Class A hyperspace junction. That's why they're so interested in us. William looked over her shoulder. What's a hyperspace junction? It's a natural point in space where faster-than-light travel is easier, Martinez explained. Ships can travel farther using less fuel. According to this, Earth's junction could connect to over 20 other star systems. Catherine frowned. So Earth has a strategic location. What else? Here's a file on protectorate worlds, William said from another terminal. There are dozens of them. The pattern is always the same. The Council offers protection and limited technology. In exchange, they take control of the planet's resources and space travel. He pointed at the screen. Look at this world, Ballora. They became a protectorate 300 years ago. Now they're strip mining their own planet to meet Council quotas. Their people live in poverty while Council worlds get richer. Just like Nerivel said, Catherine murmured. Any mention of Earth specifically? Commander Foster called from his terminal. Found it. There's a draft agreement already prepared. They plan to offer it tomorrow as a peace proposal. It would give the Council control of all Earth's orbital space and mining rights to the entire solar system. Catherine's face hardened. Download everything. We need proof to show Earth what they're really planning. As the others worked, Catherine explored a restricted section of the archives. There she found records of Council ships observing Earth for over 50 years. They had been studying humans long before making contact. A noise from the corridor made them all freeze. Someone's coming, Foster whispered. They quickly disconnected their devices and hid behind the tall data stacks. The door opened, and High Chancellor Zextal entered with 2 guards. The human delegation is up to something, Zextal was saying. Double the guards on their quarters when they return. The aliens moved to a terminal across the room, not noticing the hidden humans. Catherine and her team remained perfectly still until the aliens finally left. That was close, William said, breathing again. Too close, Catherine agreed. We have what we need. Let's go. Back in their quarters, they reviewed the stolen information. The truth was worse than they had feared. The Council didn't see Earth as an equal partner. They saw it as a resource to be exploited. We need to contact Earth, Commander Foster said urgently. The defense fleet needs to be warned. Catherine nodded grimly. I'll try something bolder. Tomorrow at the hearing, I'll confront Zextal directly with what we've learned. It's a risk, but we need to know where he stands before we decide our next move. And if he admits it? Dr. Martinez asked. Then at least we'll know exactly where we stand, Catherine replied, and Earth can prepare for what comes next. That night, while her team slept, Catherine stood at the window watching the stars. Somewhere, out there was Earth, unaware of the danger it faced. Tomorrow would test her skills as a diplomat to their limit. The fate of her world might depend on her next words. The day of the formal hearing arrived. Catherine wore her best diplomatic uniform, the blue and gold colors of Earth standing out among the alien fashions. Her team walked beside her, faces serious but determined. The council chamber was filled to capacity. Representatives from all 50 species watched from their floating platforms. The air buzzed with conversation in dozens of languages. Remember, the plan, Catherine said quietly to her team. No matter what happens, be ready to move. Commander Foster nodded. The emergency signal is ready to send to Earth if needed. High Chancellor Zextal raised his forearms for silence. The chamber grew quiet. This council is now in session, he announced. Today we address the petition of Sol 3, known to its natives as Earth, for recognition and trade status. Catherine noticed he had changed the purpose of the meeting. Yesterday it was about Earth's violations. Today it was about a petition. The council was already changing its story. Before we proceed, Zextal continued, we will review the technological and cultural development of humans. This will help us determine their readiness for galactic society. A large holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed images of Earth cities, factories, and spaceships, but Catherine immediately noticed the images were selective, showing only older technology, pollution, and conflicts. As you can see, Zextal said, humans have achieved basic spaceflight, but remain primitive in many areas. Their world suffers from resource depletion and social instability. Catherine stood up. I request permission to speak. The Earth representative may make a brief statement, Zextal said with obvious reluctance. Catherine stepped to the edge of her platform. She noticed Dr. Martinez activate their corrected translation devices. Thank you, High Chancellor, Catherine began. The images you show are not representative of Earth today. Our technology has advanced significantly, especially in the areas of sustainable energy and medical science. She pressed a button on her wrist device. New images appeared, showing Earth's advanced space stations, clean cities, and newest technologies. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Several council members looked surprised. Furthermore, Catherine continued, human society values freedom and self-determination above all. We seek peaceful relationships with all species, but we will not surrender our independence. Zextal's expression darkened. No one is asking Earth to surrender anything. In fact, the Council has prepared a generous offer. He gestured, and a document appeared on all screens. The Protectorate Agreement offers Earth protection, limited technology transfer, and guidance as you develop. In exchange, the Council will manage your interstellar affairs and establish resource collection facilities in your solar system. Catherine read through the document quickly. It was exactly what they had found in the archives, a plan to take control of Earth while offering little in return. Chancellor, she said calmly, this agreement would give the Council control over Earth's resources and limit our sovereignty. Why would we accept such terms? Zextal's voice became cold. Because you have no choice. Earth is surrounded by concordate ships. Your planet is isolated and vulnerable. This is not a negotiation. It is your only option. The chamber grew tense. Many council members looked uncomfortable at Zextal's open threat. Catherine stared directly at Zextal. Are you saying the Council threatens Earth with military action if we don't accept these terms? I am saying, Zextal replied, that the galaxy is a dangerous place for unprotected worlds. The Council offers security. Whether you see that as generosity or necessity is irrelevant. Catherine looked around the chamber, making eye contact with as many alien representatives as possible. Some looked away. Others seemed troubled. Then I have one final question, Chancellor, Catherine said. Does the full Council know that Earth sits on a Class A hyperspace junction? Does the full Council know how valuable such a location is for interstellar trade? And does the full Council know how many other Protectorate worlds have been stripped of their resources under agreements just like this one? The chamber erupted in shocked conversation. Many council members turned to Zextal with questioning looks. The High Chancellor's blue-gray skin darkened with anger. How dare you make such accusations, he hissed. Catherine smiled. I dare because I have proof. And now the entire council has heard it too. The council chamber was in chaos. Aliens shouted in many languages. Some demanded answers from Zextal. Others called for Catherine to be removed. Zextal raised all four arms again for silence. His voice boomed across the chamber. These humans clearly do not understand galactic protocol. They have accessed restricted archives illegally. They spread lies to disrupt council unity. They are not lies, Catherine replied calmly. She touched her wrist device. Images appeared above all platforms. They showed documents from the archives, reports about Earth's hyperspace junction, plans for resource extraction, and data about other worlds that had been exploited under Protectorate agreements. These are your own records, Catherine continued. We found them in your archives. They show the true purpose behind this Protectorate offer. You don't want to protect Earth. You want to control it for its strategic location and resources. Tall, thin alien with green skin stood on their platform. High Chancellor, is this true? Has the Executive Council concealed information about Sol 3? Zexatol's skin darkened even more. Counselor Rek, the Executive Council determines what information is necessary for the full body to consider. Some matters require discretion. Discretion or deception? Asked another alien representative. Catherine watched as the council began to divide. Some supported Zextol, others were clearly disturbed by the revelations. This was her chance. Members of the Galactic Council, she said, her voice strong and clear. Earth came here in good faith. We hope to join a community of worlds based on mutual respect and honest exchange. Instead, we found a system that divides species into rulers and ruled. She paused, looking around the chamber. Humanity rejects these terms entirely. We will not trade our freedom for false protection. Gasps and murmurs spread through the chamber. No species had ever rejected a council offer so directly. You have no authority to reject anything, Zexatol snarled. Your primitive world has no standing. Here, Catherine stood tall. I am the authorized representative of Earth. I speak with the full voice of my world. And I say again, we reject your offer and your authority over us. This is unprecedented, shouted an alien from a lower platform. No world has ever... Perhaps more worlds should, Catherine interrupted. How many species here have lost their independence to protectorate agreements? How many have watched their resources stripped away while their people suffer? Several representatives looked down, avoiding eye contact. Some nodded slightly. Zextol's patience ended. Enough. Guards, escort the Earth delegation to their quarters. They are no longer welcome in this chamber. 4 large aliens with weapons moved toward the human platform. Catherine looked at her team. Commander Foster gave a small nod. It was time for their boldest move. That won't be necessary, Catherine said loudly. We are leaving. Not just this chamber, but this station. Earth withdraws from these talks completely. The chamber fell silent in shock. Walking out of council proceedings was unheard of. You cannot leave without permission, Zexatol said, his voice dangerous. Council protocol requires... We are not bound by your protocols, Catherine replied. We never agreed to them. Earth is an independent world making its own decisions. And we decide to leave. With that, Catherine turned her back on Zextol, a grave insult in council culture. Her team followed her lead. Together, they walked toward the exit. Stop them, Zextol ordered. The guards moved to block the door. Commander Foster stepped forward, hand moving to his hidden weapon. The tension in the room was electric. Then a new voice spoke. Let them pass. Nirivel stood on her platform, her luminescent skin glowing brightly. The council cannot hold representatives against their will. It violates our most basic laws. Other voices joined in agreement. The guards hesitated, looking to Zextol for guidance. The High Chancellor was trapped by his own rules. To force the humans to stay would confirm everything Catherine had said about the council's true nature. They may leave, he said finally, his voice cold with anger. But remember this, human. Your world stands alone against the void. You will come to regret this decision. Catherine paused at the doorway and looked back at the divided council. We would rather face the void as free people than live as slaves. To your council, she said. Earth is not afraid to stand alone. Then she and her team walked out of the council chamber, leaving stunned silence behind them. Catherine and her team moved quickly through the corridors of Proxima Station, heading for their ship. Aliens stepped back as they passed, whispering, among themselves. News of what happened in the council chamber was spreading fast. They'll try to stop us from leaving, Commander Foster said quietly. Catherine nodded. That's why we need to hurry. Dr. Martinez, send the emergency signal to Earth now. Dr. Martinez pulled out her communication device and activated a special sequence. Signal sent. If all goes well, Earth will receive it in minutes. As they approached the docking bay, they found their path blocked by a group of armed guards. Your ship is under inspection, said the lead guard. You must return to your quarters immediately. Commander Foster stepped forward. We are diplomatic representatives. You have no right to hold us. The guard's hand moved to his weapon. High Chancellor's orders. You will come with us. Catherine touched Foster's arm, warning him to stay calm. Then she addressed the guard. Contact Counselor Nerivel of the Solari Collective. Tell her the humans are being detained against council law. The guard hesitated. Catherine pressed her advantage. The full council is watching now. Do you want to be responsible for violating diplomatic protocol? After a tense moment, the guard stepped aside. You may proceed to your ship, the lead guard said reluctantly, but all departures are currently delayed for security checks. Catherine and her team hurried to their ship. Once inside, William immediately began checking for sabotage while Commander Foster prepared for launch. They've disabled our main engines, William reported. We're stuck here. Catherine wasn't surprised. Can we fix it? Not without parts we don't have, William said. Just then, the communication system activated. Nerivel's face appeared on the screen. Ambassador Wells, your actions have caused quite a stir, she said. Half the council is in uproar. Many representatives are questioning Zextol's leadership for the first time in decades. That's good news, Catherine replied. But we're trapped. They've disabled our ship, Nerivel nodded. I expected as much. There is another way. My personal transport is in the diplomatic section. The access codes are being sent to your computer now. Take it and go. Why are you helping us? Catherine asked. Because you did what my people should have done long ago, Nerivel answered. Now hurry. Zextol has ordered the station sealed. Catherine thanked her, and the team quickly gathered their essential equipment. They made their way to the diplomatic section using service corridors to avoid guards. Nerivel's ship was sleek and fast, clearly built for speed. As Commander Foster prepared for launch, Catherine recorded a final message to the Council, explaining their actions and offering peaceful relations to any species that recognized Earth's independence. All systems ready, Foster reported, but station control isn't responding to our launch requests. Override it, Catherine ordered. Use Nerivel's command codes. Foster entered the codes, the docking clamps released, and the ship glided free. Of the station, immediately alarms sounded. Multiple ships approaching, William warned, checking the sensors. Araxian military vessels. Maximum speed, heading for the jump point, Catherine instructed. We need to get clear of the station, before they can organize a proper blockade. The small ship accelerated away from Proxima Station. The Araxian vessels pursued, but Nerivel's ship was faster than it looked. Soon they were approaching the edge of the system. Incoming transmission, Dr. Martinez announced. It's from Earth. On the communication screen, Defense Secretary Gregory Reeves appeared. Ambassador Wells, we received your emergency signal. Your warning about the Council's intentions was clear. We've initiated Protocol Leonidas. Catherine's eyes widened. You're sure that's a major step? We're sure, Reeves confirmed. The orbital platforms have been activated. 3 fleet vessels have emerged from hiding in the asteroid belt. If the Council wants a fight, they'll get one they didn't expect. The revelation stunned everyone. Earth had been preparing for this possibility all along. We're not as helpless as they thought, Commander Foster said with a grim smile. Get home safely, Ambassador, Reeves said. Earth stands ready. As their ship prepared to jump to faster than light speed, Catherine looked at the stars ahead. The Council had severely underestimated humanity. They thought Earth would submit out of fear. They were about to learn a valuable lesson. Humans don't scare easily. The news of what happened at the Galactic Council spread quickly across the stars. Many species watched with interest as the humans, a newcomer race that most had never heard of, challenged the mighty Concordat. On Proxima Station, the Council was in turmoil. Zextol called an emergency session, his forearms gesturing wildly as he spoke. The humans have violated every protocol. They must be punished as an example to all. But many council members were no longer listening to him. The evidence Catherine had revealed could not be ignored. Several representatives had formed a new group, led by Nerivel of the Solari Collective. For too long, the Executive Council has kept secrets from us, Nerivel said to the gathered aliens. They have used the Concordate to enrich themselves while claiming to protect the galaxy. The humans have shown us the truth. 11 species formally joined her, breaking away from Zexatol's leadership. It was the first major division in the Concordate's 1,000-year history. Zexatol was furious. These humans have caused enough trouble. The Araxian fleet will ensure they understand their place in the galaxy. He ordered his ships to set course for Earth. The mighty Araxian war vessels, over 30 in total, prepared for what they thought would be an easy victory. Meanwhile, Catherine and her team had reached Earth. They were immediately taken to the United World Council, where leaders from all nations had gathered to hear their report. The situation is serious, Catherine explained, showing the evidence they had collected. The Concordate sees Earth as a resource to exploit, not as an equal. They will likely try to force us to accept their terms. President Laura Chen nodded, gravely. Then it's good we've been preparing. Show her, Defense Secretary. Gregory Reeves activated a large display showing Earth's orbital space. What had appeared to be simple communication satellites and small defense platforms suddenly changed. Hidden panels opened, revealing advanced weapon systems. We recovered an alien ship that crashed in the Pacific Ocean 15 years ago, Reeves explained. We've been reverse engineering their technology ever since, building our defenses in secret. Catherine was amazed. The Council has no idea we have this capability. That's not all, Reeves continued. He changed the display to show the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. 3 massive warships emerged from hiding. These vessels have been under construction for a decade. They're fully operational and crewed by our best personnel. President Chen turned to Catherine. You've given us valuable intelligence about the Council's true nature. Now we need your diplomatic skills more than ever. There are species who might ally with us, yes? Catherine nodded. Nerivel and several others have broken from Zextol's leadership. They could be valuable friends, but first, we need to survive the coming confrontation. Just then, alerts sounded. Defense Secretary Reeves checked his screens. Multiple faster-than-light signatures detected. The Araxian fleet has entered the solar system. They're taking position near Saturn. But before the Araxian ships could move closer to Earth, they received a surprise. 5 vessels appeared near them. Ships from Nerivel's alliance. We've received a transmission from the Solari vessels, Reeves announced. They're positioning themselves between the Araxian fleet and Earth. They say they stand with humanity against Council aggression. Catherine smiled. It seems we've made some friends after all. The Araxian fleet halted its advance, facing this unexpected opposition. A tense standoff began in the space near Saturn. President Chen turned to Catherine. What do you suggest we do now, Ambassador? Catherine thought for a moment. The Araxians expected an easy victory. We've shown them we're not defenseless. Now, we need to show the galaxy there's a better way forward than the Council's system of domination. She outlined her plan, and the President nodded in agreement. Very well, we'll need a neutral meeting ground, away from both Earth and Proxima Station. Europa, Catherine suggested, Jupiter's moon. It's within our solar system but far enough from Earth to be seen as neutral territory. Messages were sent across the void of space. An invitation to both Council factions, not for surrender, but for the creation of something new. A framework for cooperation that respected the independence of all worlds. As Catherine prepared to return to space, she looked at the image of distant Earth on her screen. The blue planet that had stood alone for so long might soon find its place among the stars. Not as a servant to the mighty, but as an equal among equals. Europa glowed blue and white against the massive backdrop of Jupiter. The icy moon had been transformed. Human engineers had quickly built a meeting facility on its surface, a clear dome structure that allowed the stars to be visible overhead. Inside this dome, representatives from 17 species gathered. From Earth came Catherine Wells, now officially named Earth's Ambassador Plenipotentiary. She was accompanied by her loyal team, Commander Foster, Dr. Martinez, and William Carter. From the Broken Council came 2 groups. Nerivel led the reformers, 11 species tired of the old system. Zextol reluctantly represented the traditional council faction, his blue-gray skin dark with suppressed anger. "I still do not understand why we are here," Zextol said. "The humans violated council procedures. They should be brought to justice, not treated as equals." Catherine stepped forward to the center of the room. "We are here because the old way no longer works. The Concordat was meant to unite worlds, not divide them into rulers and ruled." She activated a display system. Above the gathering appeared a document titled, "The Terra Accords." "Earth proposes a new framework for galactic cooperation," Catherine continued. "One based on mutual respect and true equality. No protectorates. No secret exploitation of resources. No hidden agendas." Nerivel examined the document with interest. These principles would change everything. Each world would maintain its sovereignty while agreeing to fair trade and mutual defense. "Exactly," Catherine nodded. "No species would control another. All would have equal voice in matters that affect the galaxy as a whole." Zextol scoffed. "Naive idealism. The strong have always led the weak. It is the natural order." Catherine turned to him. "Is it? On Earth, humans spent centuries fighting each other, one group trying to dominate another. We nearly destroyed ourselves. But we learned a better way, to respect differences, to work together despite them." She looked around at the gathered aliens. "Our history of overcoming our own divisions gives us a unique perspective. We don't claim to be perfect, but we've learned that true strength comes from cooperation, not domination." The discussions continued for hours. Points were debated, terms negotiated. Throughout it all, Catherine remained patient but firm. Earth would not accept anything less than true equality. Gradually, more species began to side with the humans. Even some of Zextol's supporters were swayed by the logic of the Terra Accords. Finally, Zextol realized he was losing ground. "The Araxian Dominion will not be part of this experiment. We withdraw from these talks." He and 3 other species left the dome, returning to their ships. Catherine was not surprised. Change is never easy, especially for those who benefit from the current system. Nerivel approached her. "What happens now?" "Now we build something better," Catherine replied. "With or without them." By the end of the Earth Day, 17 species had signed the preliminary Terra Accords. It was the beginning of a fundamental restructuring of galactic politics, a new alliance based on equality and mutual benefit. As the other representatives prepared to return to their worlds to present the accords to their governments, Catherine stood at the edge of the dome, looking out at the stars. Commander Foster joined her. "Quite a view." "Yes," Catherine agreed. "I was just thinking about how this all started. We went to their council hoping to join their community. Instead, we ended up creating a new one." "By walking away," Foster noted. "Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is refuse a bad deal." Catherine smiled. "That's always been humanity's greatest strength, hasn't it? Not our hidden weapons or secret ships, but our stubborn refusal to surrender our independence. Our ability to imagine a better future, even among the stars." As their ship left Europa to return to Earth, Catherine looked back at Jupiter's massive form. The diplomatic crisis had turned into an opportunity. Earth was no longer alone in the cosmos. They had found friends, true friends who respected them as equals. And as for Zextol and his faction, they would either adapt to the new reality or find themselves increasingly isolated as more worlds joined the Terra Accords. The galaxy was changing, and it had all started because one human diplomat had the courage to simply walk away from a bad deal, showing the stars that sometimes the strongest statement you can make is saying no and choosing your own path forward.